My first experience of Slovenia was so much more than I expected. I had to come back. Now that I've been here a few times, I know this much. It might be small in size, but it's big in its achievements. Now I know it's green. And not only because forests cover more than half its land, but because everyone is working to protect the environment. From innovative pioneers in light aviation to greenhouses heated with geothermal water, while smart sensors control its production. And creators of self-sustainable zero-emission houses that are in complete sync with nature. Now I also know that it's creative. Not just because of its unique achievements in sustainable construction engineering, but also because it manufactures sports equipment for champions the world over. But Slovenia isn't just green or just creative. It's a fun-loving and free country where groundbreaking ideas come to life. And it's smart. Because Slovenia's know-how is used for automotive testing. And every single car in the world has at least one component made in Slovenia. And because it's one of the leading manufacturers of generic pharmaceuticals. Of course, Slovenia is already famous for its hospitality and locally grown food. And its engineers never stop working on cutting-edge automation. While its companies constantly push the barriers in technological innovation. And all because of its brilliant people, educated and reliable, multilingual and talented, who can improve the quality of your life or even help you reach the stars. Now I've been here, I know that Slovenia is a land of infinite potential with fantastic opportunities. Which one will you take? Slovenia, a land of infinite potential for your business. Make the most of it.
皆様お待たせいたしました。それではオンラインセミナーを始めさせていただきます。進行はスロベニア共和国大使館の経済担当オフィサーのフノが務めさせていただきます。言語は英語と日本語の2カ国語で対応しております。スクリーン右下の言語選択ボタンを押してお選びください。なお、ブラウザーから参加している方は、こちらの言語選択ボタンが選べませんので、Zoom アプリをダウンロードをお願いいたします。また、ご意見、ご質問等ございましたら、チャットボックスの方で受け付けておりますので、お書き込みお願いいたします。それでは、スロベニアと日本の農業分野の協力の可能性を探るセミナー、本日のプログラム構成を簡単にですけれどもご説明させていただきます。まず、オープニングで両国の大使、農業大臣、大臣政務官の4名の来賓の方のご挨拶をしていただきます。第2部で日本の皆様へ向けたスロベニアの投資環境、農業分野での取り組みのご紹介。そして第3部では、スロベニアの方に向けての日本からの農林水産省のオープンイノベーションについての取り組みのご紹介。そして、第4部、両国からアグリテックの企業の6社ほどお招きしております。プレゼンをしていただきます。最後に Q&A セッション、クロージングという流れになっております。それでは開会の挨拶を、日本とスロベニアの両国の大使から賜りたいと存じます。駐日スロベニア共和国アナ・ポラック・ペトリッチ大使、お願いいたします。
Lepo pozdravljeni, minasana konnichiwa. Dear Minister Dr. Podgoršek, Vice Minister Dr. Kumano, Ambassador Matsushima, Director Dr. Kostanjevec. Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, it is a great honor for me to welcome you at this online event, which is organized by the Embassy of Slovenia in Tokyo and the agency SPIRIT Slovenia. We have also received the kind support, especially of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food of Slovenia and the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries of Japan. Thank you. This being said, it is evident from the agenda of this webinar that this is a product of a joint effort and fruitful collaboration between Slovenian and Japanese institutions and agencies, which have come together to discover the possibilities and potential of Slovenia and Japan in the field of AgriTech. This area of economic and scientific cooperation between the two countries is becoming increasingly important and is gaining attention of more and more companies and institutions on both sides. Thus, I'm convinced that today's webinar is held at the right time to present, on the one hand, the already existing best practices of cooperation, as well as, on the other hand, to pave the way to further engagement and ideas of collaboration. Therefore, allow me to express my sincere gratitude to all the speakers of today's event, be it from the governmental and economic institutions, as well as to the representatives of successful and renowned companies from Slovenia and Japan. Next year, Slovenia and Japan will celebrate the 30th anniversary of diplomatic relations. Since then, the intensity of friendship among us has only grown. Today, I can proudly say that relations between our countries are the very best they have ever been. The contacts between politicians at the highest level, businesses, as well as between the people of our two nations are meaningful, frequent, and friendly. However, I can also confirm that there is still great potential for the growth of interactions in many areas. One of them is without doubt investing in our future and creating a world of sustainability and green growth. Both Japan and the EU, and within also Slovenia, have a very similar view on how the post-COVID world should look like. We have both pledged that we will preserve the world of democracy, rule of law, and free trade. We understand that we must increase our resilience to future disasters, also by diversifying supply chains. We have both set the goal of 2050 to reach carbon neutrality, and by that to increase our engagement in green growth and fight against climate change. Both Japan and EU have set their first priorities, digitalization and regional revitalizations. And technologies which will be used in the future in agriculture are very important to reach all of the mentioned goals. Only by using smart and green technological solutions in agriculture sector, we can preserve this world that we envisage for ourselves, but most importantly, for the future generations. This is why our embassy in Japan and Slovenia as such have decided to engage more systematically and forcefully in promoting cooperation with Japan in the field of agriculture and AgriTech. And this is why I'm truly impressed by the high number of participants and interested parties at today's webinar. Let me conclude by promising that this is just a kickoff event, a start of a continuous collaboration between Slovenia and Japan in the field of agriculture, with the conviction of a huge success in the years to come. This is why I wish you all to find that you will find today's webinar an informative one, and that it will help you understand and support this great idea. Thank you very much. Najlepša hvala, arigato gozaimashita.
ありがとうございました。次に、日本から駐スロベニア日本大使松島博道大使よりメッセージをいただいております。よろしくお願いいたします。
参加者の皆様、こんにちは。そしておはようございます。駐スロベニア日本大使の松島博道です。昨年11月にスロベニアに赴任してまいりました。一昨年の夏まで農林水産省に勤務し、国際関係業務を担当していましたので、 本日の農業関連イベントには特にご縁があり、こうしてご挨拶させていただけることを大変嬉しく思います。本イベントをお企画いただいた在京スロベニア大使館に改めて感謝を申し上げたいと思います。近年、日本企業のスロベニアへの投資が進んでおり、現在約30社が投資を行っています。最近はハイテク分野の企業の投資も活発になっています。この背景としては、スロベニアの良好な投資環境があると考えられます。具体的には、スロベニアは EU 加盟国ですので、他の EU 加盟国との間で為替リスクがなく、人、物の自由が確保されていること、ビジネスのほぼすべての場面で英語が通じること、教育システムが整備されており、高度人材が豊富であること、中東欧マーケットへの入り口となっているという地理的条件などが挙げられます。一方、スロベニア政府関係者からも、高度な技術を有する日本企業の投資拡大に対して大きな期待が寄せられています。そのような中、農業・食品分野の企業間協力、投資の可能性について考えてみたいと思います。農業生産面での日本とスロベニアの共通の課題として、国土に占める森林の割合が大きく、耕地面積が限られていること、家族経営を中心とした小規模経営が多いこと、さらに農業労働力の減少が挙げられます。両国が得意とする AI、ドローン、ロボテックなど最新技術を活用すれば、こうした課題を解決して、飛躍的な生産性の向上や農産物の価格向上が可能になると考えています。また、農業分野だけではなく、食品加工、食品流通の高度化などの分野でも、日本企業が協力する余地があると考えられます。本年の後半には、スロベニアが EU 議長国を務め、来年2022年は、日スロベニア外交関係樹立30周年を迎えます。在スロベニア日本大使館としても、この機会を活用して、スロベニアの皆様に日本食も含めて日本文化を紹介するイベントを開催したり、日本企業、スロベニア企業を対象に投資を促進するイベントを企画したいと考えています。最後に、本イベントにおいて有益な情報交換が行われ、両国の企業間の協力や日本企業のスロベニアへの投資など、具体的に成果につながることを期待しています。これからも在京スロベニア大使館と協力しつつ、両国の経済関係をさらに発展させていきたいと考えていますので、改めて皆様の協力とご支援をお願いしたいと思います。どうもありがとうございました。
福島大使、ありがとうございました。次に、スロベニアの農業食糧大臣、ヨジェ・ポドゴルシェク博士からのご挨拶です。よろしくお願いいたします。
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, allow me to begin by saying that I am delighted with the friendly bilateral relations between the Republic of Slovenia and Japan. I am pleased that our countries are celebrating the 30th anniversary of our diplomatic relations. In the following days, the 300 cherry trees that Japan gave to Slovenia in 1999 as a sign of friendship and cooperation between the countries will come into bloom. In October 2000, Japan's Princess Sayako planted the first of the trees that grow in front of the biological center in Ljubljana. I welcome the intention of Japan to become partner country of the 2029 edition of the biggest Slovenian agri-food fair Agra. In recent years, we have witnessed a growing economic cooperation, which is also reflected in the increase of Japanese investments in Slovenia. The ever closer cooperation between Slovenia and Japan in different fields creates new opportunities for cooperation. Together with His Excellency, Mr. Hiromichi Matsushima, we held a meeting in February discussing the cooperation of Slovenia and Japanese scientific institutions. I am extremely pleased to say that a number of renowned Slovenian experts have expressed their interest to participate. Slovenia and Japan share a long history and scientific cooperation. I am confident we will foster and enhance this cooperation with common projects in the fields of agriculture, forestry and food. Climate change, the loss of agricultural land and a growing population, unfortunately the list goes on and on, are the challenges that concern us all. One of the solutions is to introduce new technologies and apply artificial intelligence in agriculture. Smart agriculture has a great potential for achieving a more productive and sustainable agricultural production because it is based on a more precise and efficient approach. It can bring great benefits to the resolution of environmental issues such as water use efficiency, reduced use of fertilizers and plant protection products, reduced fuel consumption, treatment optimization, etc. The digitization of agriculture enables us to produce more food with a lower environmental impact. I believe that this is the future of agriculture. I am convinced that we can attract young people to work in the agricultural industry by placing greater emphasis on the development and introduction of new technologies in agriculture. Our aim is to encourage young people to start their own farms and to create full-time jobs on farms. Slovenia and Japan do not have suitable natural conditions and sufficient agricultural land to provide self-sufficiency in all areas of agricultural production. Suitable technology in food production and processing contributes to greater productivity. Despite being geographically distant, Slovenia and Japan can successfully develop trade in food products. At this point, let me mention the port of Koper. Due to its geographical location, it can serve as the entry and exit point to and from the Central European countries. I truly believe that the bilateral relations between our two countries will deepen even further and that this event is the first step towards enhanced cooperation and creation of new opportunities for partnership in different fields. Let us unite also in the future and work together to benefit the sustainable development of our planet. Thank you for your attention and your effort. I wish you much success in your future work.
ありがとうございました。では次に、日本から熊野正史農林水産大臣政務官よりのご挨拶です。よろしくお願いいたします。
日スロベニアのアグリテック分野の協力に関する本日のセミナーの開催にあたり、農林水産省を代表し、一言ご挨拶を申し上げます。まずは新型コロナウイルスの影響により対面での交流がかなわない中でも本日このようにオンライン形式で両国の農業関係者が一堂に会し両国の農業分野での投資促進を図るセミナーを開催できること 心より嬉しく思います。スロベニア政府の皆様をはじめ、関係者の皆様のご尽力に心より感謝を申し上げます。また、本日のセミナーは、日スロベニアの農業分野での投資促進を図る初めてのイベントとなります。スロベニアには昨年11月に農林水産省出身の松島大使が着任されたところですが、着任以来、日スロベニア友好のためにさまざまなアイデアを出され、早速本日のセミナーが実現に至りましたことに感謝をいたします。さて、今世界の農林水産業、食品産業は新型コロナウイルスによるサプライチェーンの変容、気候変動、栄養不足人口の拡大といったさまざまな課題に直面しています。こうした課題に対応し、食料・農林水産業の生産力向上と持続性の両立をイノベーションを通じて達成するため、現在、農林水産省では、緑の食料システム戦略の策定を進めているところです。また、イノベーションを進め、その恩恵を多くの方が受けられるようにするためには、国内のみならず、海外の優れた技術や知見との交流が重要です。これらの交流を図る一環として、本日のセミナーでは、農林水産省から産学官連携によるオープンイノベーションを目指すプラットフォームである知の集積と活用の場を紹介させていただきます。このプラットフォームには、国内外から3000を超える会員が参加をし、200もの革新的なプロジェクトが立ち上がっています。また、本日は日本企業の優れた技術をスロベニアの皆様にぜひ知っていただきたく、スロベニアのスタートアップに投資をしている企業、スロベニア、欧州に関心がある企業によるプレゼンテーションも予定しております。これらの企業の技術は、IT センサーを活用した害虫発生予測技術、どこでも誰でも水産養殖をすることができる技術、容易に干ばつ対策を講ずることができる技術など、まさに未来の農林水産業、食品産業を支える革新的な技術です。本日のセミナーを契機に、日スロベニア両国の農林水産、食品関連企業や研究者がつながり、両国の企業のビジネスがさらに発展することを記念いたしまして、私からのご挨拶とさせていただきます。2021年3月25日、農林水産大臣政務官、熊野正史。
ありがとうございました。それではお待たせいたしました。まず、なぜ今スロベニアなのかという、議題で移りたいと思います。日本にとっては、スロベニアというのは馴染みの薄い国ではありますので、今回のセミナーでよりよく国のことを知っていただきたいと思い設けました。スロベニアからは投資環境、特に農業セクターに関する現状を説明していただく予定におります。3名の方に登壇していただきます。では、まず、スロベニアの経済発展技術省のディアナ・マジャラツ氏にお願いいたします。
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the business and investment environment of the Republic of Slovenia today. Slovenia is one of the most forested, is one of the fastest growing economies in Central and Eastern European countries, with 3.2% growth in 2019. The contribution to the real GDP growth was made by the majority of the Slovenian industry. It is the 24th most developed country and highly export-oriented. The export of goods and services presented 83.7% of GDP in 2019. The average in EU27, for example, is 49.4%. What our partners value when doing business with Slovenia? Definitely business and investor-friendly economic environment with efficient solutions. Investors see Slovenia as a leading country in macroeconomic stability and one of the safest places in the world, with the world's second most reliable and secure energy supply system. It's open for investors, and it is one of the least restrictive countries among OECD members. We have doubled the FDI stock in the last 10 years. Slovenian business partners choose Slovenia also for its high degree of industrialization, proximity to major production hubs, and reaching global supply chains, and last but not least, flexibility and loyalty. Slovenia is green, creative, and smart, as you have already heard from our video and our previous panelists. The companies create products and services with a desire to deliver smart solutions globally with higher added value, higher positions in GVCs, and nonetheless, that benefit the environment, society, and business. Green, sustainable, and circular economic development is not just a trend, it's a necessity for future generations. There are various elements that show why Slovenia is green. In addition to the strategic project of decarbonization in progress, which will enable the fast transition to a low carbon and circular economy. Our socially responsible economy is among the best in the world in terms of environmental health and ecosystem vitality, with sustainable resource management, which increases share of renewable energy and enables production of green goods and services. High quality of life makes Slovenia a perfect country to live and work in. Furthermore, excellent geographical position in the heart of Europe and at the crossroads of TNT corridors, quality infrastructure with well-developed transport and telecommunication network, fast development of information society have attracted many international companies to become our partners and suppliers. Slovenia means easy access to 700 million people in the regional markets. At this point, it is important to mention our port of Koper, the leading cargo port at the Northern Adriatic, which presents the shortest and quickest way from Far East to Central Europe, and as such, lowers carbon footprint. Port of Koper has high-quality port infrastructure. The Japanese market is one of the most important for Port of Koper, with great potential for further growth, especially in the area of containers and vehicles. More than 20 million tons of goods have traveled from and to through the Port of Koper in 2019, and nearly 500,000 from and to Japan. The numbers are increasing in recent years as Japanese companies take advantage of North Adriatic in their exchange of goods with Central and Eastern European countries. This was also evidenced by a study done in 2016 by a team of experts from Japanese Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Economy, who identified the Port of Koper as the most up-to-date and geographically best located port in North Adriatic. As mentioned before, Port of Koper presents the shortest sea route to the heart of Europe from Japan, up to 8 days shorter transit in comparison to some other northern ports. It is time and cost-effective. Business center of surrounding hinterland markets can be reached by road from Koper in less than 1 day and by train in less than 2 days. The company Luka Koper is constantly strengthening cooperation with the Japanese market. We all know that for business partners and investors, the talented and high-skilled workforce that deliver creative and sustainable solutions is of vital importance. I can assure you that these needs can be found in our knowledge and technology-based society. Slovenia's productivity ranks above its near neighbors. More than 40% of students normally graduate with degrees in science and engineering, and your message here will always be understood since 92% of adults speak at least one foreign language. We are an important research, development, and innovation player in the region. There are more than 4,500 researchers per 1 million people. 2% of GDP is allocated to R&D, 75% from the business sector, mainly industrial, which is around 10% more than the EU average. Slovenia encourages entrepreneurial investment in research, development, and innovation through various measures, with 100% tax deduction on R&D expense, through public tenders for financing, financial contribution to RDI projects and companies, and through a supportive environment for innovative companies, for example, incubators, technology parks, etc. The government's measures to put RDI are focused on digital, circular, and Industry 4.0 within the Slovenian Smart Civilization strategy, with 9 priority areas: smart cities and communities, smart buildings and home with a wooden chain, circular economy transition networks, sustainable food, sustainable tourism, factories of the future, health medicine, mobility, and materials. In general, there is only 90% corporate tax, with tax reliefs on R&D, as mentioned before, and up to 40% of the amount invested in equipment and intangible long-term assets. We are aware it is hard to compete with Japan as a leading nation in scientific research and one of the most innovative countries in the world. But the Slovenians are also strong in some niche areas, such as robotics, fintech, cybersecurity, blockchain, etc. Our companies excel in health and biotechnology and in measurement technology sector. We have an excellent track record in scientific and technological fields, such as physics, materials, biochemistry, and more recently in areas tackling climate-related challenges. Moreover, we are pioneers of artificial intelligence, and we have recently set up an international AI research center with UNESCO. Slovenia has increased overall ability of managing its innovation ecosystem by 8.8% since 2011, and we are an important innovator country within the EU. What is also interesting, we have 174 robots per 10,000 employees, and we are definitely a country of hidden champions. Last year, Slovenia joined other 49 countries who have their own satellites in space, also with our know-how. A privilege that has long been reserved only for the big ones. I'm convinced we will manage to reach our wider economic goals, as well as convince our Japanese partners to join us. Regarding the AgriTech solutions, I have to point out that our companies are global leaders in logging winches and firewood processors, in the specialized fixed-wing small unmanned aircraft systems, in the biomass combustion controller market, and we are the second in the world in the enterprise labeling software business focused on the manufacturing and supply chains. We're also one of the 10th largest producers of industrial knives in the world. I'm convinced, dear Japanese participants, that today's event will give you a deep view of Slovenian potentials in the AgriTech sector. Apart from already mentioned opportunities in enabling technologies, we can certainly point out also our excellent smart water processing and management solutions, automation and robotics, strain development of synthetic biology, 3D printing, biometrics, geoinformatics, and satellite imaginary processing services. We have many successful stories with Japan, also in RDI and other high-tech industry. Japan has strategically been a priority market for Slovenian economy since 2015. Trade exchange has been stable. Last year, there were more than 187 million euros of trade of goods. We are glad that Japanese investments have increased for more than 10 times since 2013 and now account for more than 360 million euros. Actually, Japan is today one of our most important and one of the larger investors. Since our good cooperation, numerous cases of excellent joint projects of good practice, we are highly interested to further strengthen our trade exchange and attract more Japanese investments to Slovenia. This is why we have strategically positioned Japan as one of our most important trading and investment partners, also in the program for the next 5 years. Various Japanese and other foreign business partners and investors have already trusted Slovenia. Yaskawa, Kansai Paint, Sumitomo Rubber Industries, Lonsdorff, Hitachi, Kubota, to name just a few. show that Slovenian know-how meets the high standards for setting up research and development departments and other high technological demands of Japan. So whether you decide to invest in Slovenia, we offer various supportive programs, from financial incentives for initial investment, which are to be granted in the form of subventions, loans, guarantees, subsidized interest rates, and the option to buy municipal real estate at below market price. Financial incentives are higher in eastern part and western of Slovenia and can be up to 45%. Ladies and gentlemen, you're kindly welcome to join Slovenia family of investors and business partners. Thank you very much for your attention.
ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。次に、スロベニアの農業市場のポテンシャルについての説明をしていただきます。農業食糧会議所会頭のタティアナ・ザゴルツ氏、よろしくお願いいたします。
Hello, everybody. Can you confirm that you see my presentation?
Yes, we see.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Dear ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to this seminar. I'm honored to be one of the speakers at today's platform that will give some opportunities for agricultural companies supported by digitalization and other aspects of their work. Today, I'm here with the two heads. I'm Director of Food Industry Association, working under umbrella of Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Slovenia, and I'm the coordinator of Strategic Research and Innovation Partnership for Sustainable Food Production in Slovenia. Just to see how we will continue with the presentation, because it causes some problems, doesn't want to go further. I will just check what is going on. Just a moment. Doesn't want to move.
Mrs. Agort, can you hear me? This is the moderator. We will start screen sharing for you. So please just stop screen sharing and we will do it. Thank you.
Okay. Just a second. Не можем ще раз. Не можем напред. Okay, just a second. Yeah. Okay, just colleagues have to come in the room and then everything is working. Okay, yeah, okay. Sorry for this interruption. So, although we are speaking about high inputs in our sector, at the end, everything ends at our table in front of us, and it has to be tasty. So I think that this is the same for Slovene and Japanese people. We like good food, so we have to produce good food. And talking about our companies, I would like to present you some numbers. As you know, Slovenia has a very small population, 2 million, about 2 million people. So there are not so many companies, food processing companies in Slovenia. We are talking about 745 companies that are processing food in Slovenia. They employ around 14,000 people. Our revenue is 2.3 billion euro. these are some important facts about our industry. And furthermore, I would like to stress that we are quite a big exporter regarding the shares. We export about 30% of our production. At the beginning, I said that I'm running the National Association of Food Enterprises, and I would like to share with you what we work and what are our topics. So, of course, as any association, we unite, connects, and represents agriculture and food enterprises in relation to state authorities and, of course, also to European industry associations. And even more, we accelerate and develop activities for our members. And in many circumstances, we are also supporting their knowledge and ideas. So we are kind of experts, and we assure for our members expert assistance in the form of counseling, education, and sharing the information. One of important things talking about smart specialization, I can say that we are proud coordinator of strategic research and innovation partnership for sustainable food production. We connect members from different aspects, and I will talk a little bit more in some further slides. And what is this SPIRIT called SPIRIT Food? This is a central platform for dynamic community of agricultural holdings, enterprises, associations, researchers, and developments. It is a very good platform to establishing networking between those people. It is sometimes very difficult to reach researchers, so we are kind of translator between them. And we focus on improvement of innovation in our companies, research and development. And of course, we have all to work toward greater competitiveness and growth so that our sector would be able to progress. And how are we built? So this partnership sets some priorities, and these are horizontal fields, which are in the form of digitalization, human resources, and internalization. Then we have two focus fields, new technologies and new materials, and very important for us, sensory analysis. And to be focused even more, we have chosen 5 value chains, which are dairy, meat, grains, fruit, and beer chain. And what are the expected results? Okay, just a second. Okay, expected results and expected effects, of course. We have to build some new business models. This is for sure. And greater acceptability and understanding of the processes in food production. They are changing all the time. Of course, we have to fill the gap between consumers and producers. It is hard without any good analysis to understand consumers. So we have to know our consumer to produce good products. And new knowledge for the production and to follow the sustainable rules. So we have to work on them. And furthermore, decreased impact of agri-food system activities on the environment. We all are aware that we have to take care of our environment and change and adapt our systems. Of course, at the end, new, innovative, sustainable, and integrated products. We have to come to our market with new products which are good for our consumer. I mentioned that the partnership is being put together out of branch associations. So even farmers, cooperatives, and agriculture and food enterprises are partners in this partnership. then universities, all three of them, Ljubljana, Maribor, and Primorska. Then research institutions, very important research institutions in Slovenia, Institute Joseph Stefan, National Institute of Biology, then Agricultural Institute of Slovenia, National Institute of Chemistry, and so on. And some other smaller but important institutions are also part of this network. And talking about smart specialization, we are very proud to become a partner in one of the most intensive platforms within the S3 platform for agri-food on the European level. Recently, we signed a contract and we actively participate with the knowledge and the projects within the fifth priority. This is smart sensors for agri-food. And just let me, in 2 points, share with you what are the main objectives. So, smart sensors for agri-food, of course, everything and a lot of it has to be measured. Otherwise, you cannot improve the systems and processes. And overall objectives of these partnerships are a joint strategy and integrational investment projects between agri-food and ICT. So we work and collaborate with ICT cluster organizations. And the second, enable the Internet of Things transition of the agri-food industry. So with lower barriers for agri-food companies and to access the newest smart electronic systems. There are also some specific objectives, but let's stay with the most important one. So in recent months, we started to participate and to be part of it. We are not direct partners in these two projects because they started before we joined, but we are keen of their results and we participate with our ideas, knowledge, and sharing of information. One of them is connecting smart sensor system for the food industry, which is part of COSME platform, and the other is smart sensor system for food safety, as so-called S3 food project. Of course, safety, quality is one of our very, very important fields where we all have to work on. And at the end, here are my details. So if you are thinking about the projects, about the collaboration, about how to find the industry which would use your products, if you are from ICT sector or vice versa, so we are here to help you and accelerate your cooperation. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。次にスロベニアの国際農業食料見本市アグラについてのアグラ会長ボリス・ニコラス・エリアベツ氏、よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I will be presenting our company, Pomurski SEM. Pomurski SEM is a company that is organizing exhibition and events. We are located in Gorna Radgona. Gorna Radgona is a town on the border to Austria and close to Hungary and Croatia. So we like to say that we are on the crossroads of 4 EU countries. But I will talk more about Agra Fair. Agra Fair is one of the most important fairs in this part of Europe. It has a long tradition. It is already 59 years old. This year it will be the 59th edition. And we organize the fair in the end of August. This year it will be from the 21st till 26th of August. A bit about the information. We have over 1,800 exhibitors from 32 countries and a total exhibitions area of 71,800 square meters. And the fair is visited by almost 120,000 visitors. Every year we have, of course, special focuses. This year is the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables. So one of the focuses is of course, fruits and vegetables. Others are as well innovation and digitalization, agriculture in the future, then organic farming, and so on. Every year we have also a partner country, which will be this year France. One connection, important connection, is that during the after Slovenian EU presidency, which will be in the time of AGRA, France will be the next EU presidency country. So there is a connection. Why is AGRA so important? Actually, because our ministry and also all the important chambers and institutions are moving their headquarters to Gorna Radgona, to the AGRA fair. During the AGRA fair. So it's a must-be event for everyone to meet with all the important decision makers in this agriculture and food industry. So as you can see, the majority of the exhibition program is agriculture, machinery and equipment. Then we have, of course, food. Forestry is an important topic due to the forestation of Slovenia. And so on. We have also an animal exhibition and also sample plantation of agricultural plants and gardens. So also the institutional area is very important because the fair is not just commercially orientated, but also educationally. So we present also faculties, schools, institutions. From the 120,000 visitors that we have, around almost 30% of the visitors are from abroad, international visitors. And we have over 800 reports and media announcements on the AGRA fair, during the AGRA fair. So every day we have also a special program. So it's dedicated, for instance, on Sundays is Beekeepers Day, or on Mondays Food Scientists Day, and so on. So every day we have then for these events different roundtable discussions on current topics, social events, gatherings, and so on. So overall, we have over 150 events during the AGRA fair. Not to mention, we have also B2B events, where also SPIRIT is partnering. So it's a good opportunity for Japanese companies to be part of the B2B event, as well as, of course, of the AGRA fair, to meet up with potential buyers, find new partners, and also see what the competition is doing. Another thing to mention is that we have also quality assessments of products. We assess every year over 1,400 products, from wine, meat, dairy products, and so on. Thank you for your attention, and hopefully see you on AGRA fair soon. And please check also our webpage, where we have also a nice video of the AGRA fair, and keep you updated about also the B2B event and everything what's going to be on, because AGRA is rich in content. Thank you for your attention.
ありがとうございました。それでは、日本から、日本の新しい農業分野のオープンイノベーションについての、発表をしていただきます。農林水産省の産学連携担当専門官の佐藤拓也氏にお願いいたします。どうぞ。
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for invitation for my presentation today. My name is Takuya Sato from Business Academia Corporation Office at Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries of Japan. Today, I would like to explain you about our Open Innovation Program named Field for Knowledge, Integration and Innovation. We call this FKII, or FKII. Next slide, please. Okay, so speaking about the collaboration research in agriculture industry, previously, for instance, for shrimp research, we are working with government research institutions and the fishery companies. And recently, there are new arrangement, for instance, for sake brewing with IT technologies. In this case, Japanese sake companies and IT company, they are doing some collaborations. But we realize that we should involve many industries as much as possible to activate the research for agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and food industries. Next slide, please. Therefore, we spoke to many industries such as life science, physics, chemistry, social science, or mechanical engineering, which are not directly related to agriculture industries. However, we understand that they have so many technologies, experiences. We can use their technology for agriculture industries, so that we tried to involve many industries and exchanging ideas for possible future collaboration. Then after that, within the discussion, they can find a specific research project or common interest within the members, so that they can have specific research group. Then they can conduct the research project following activating agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and food industries. Next slide, please. Here, I would like to mention about our Open Innovation Program, FKII, Field for Knowledge Integration and Innovation. This program consists of 3 layers. The basement is the Council of Industry, Academia, Government collaborations. This is kind of the places where a member can join and have discussion or some changing informations or exchanging ideas for future possible collaborations. So in terms of membership, not only farmers or agriculture industries, but also other industries, as I mentioned in the previous slides, chemistries, engineering, or computer science. So any industries can be joined as members to the council. So within the council, they can find specific interest or they can find common interest. And then after that, they can have a research group. We call it under the platform. This is the second layers. So under the council, they can find a specific research group. Then they can form the research group, which is under the platform. Then within the platform, they can discuss specific research project, then conduct the project. This is the top layers, research consortium. This is a specific research project. Next slide, please. As of today, we have more than 3,500 members in the council from many industries, not only agriculture, forestry, and fishery industries, but also, IT services, or computers, or other private companies, government research institutions, or universities or researchers. So we have so many members as of today. And for your information, this is a free membership and no commitment required from the members. Next slide, please. In terms of the research field currently encouraged by the council, there are so many topics, and as of today, we have about 170 research projects going on by 150 research groups. So you can see there are many topics such as health promotion, smart agriculture, new biomaterials, aquaculture, seed industries. So again, we are running so many, research projects under the council. Next slide, please. This is one of the example of our research project done by Nippon Steel Engineering. This is one of the largest engineering company, and Nippon Suisan is also the largest fishery company in Japan and the University of Tokyo. They are the members to do this research project to develop the large-scale marine aquaculture systems. So this technology enable us to expand the, the kind of aquaculture area. And you can see there's a platform on the seaside. And on the top of the platform, there's a fish feed tank. So this is automatic feeding system, and they have large-scale submerged fish cages. So this technology, again, enable us to product a mass production of fish and labor saving because they are using IT and computer technology and less impact of marine environment. This is one of our example. So again, this is just for aquaculture, but we are running agriculture and forestry research project under the council. Next slide, please. So we started this FKWI Field for Knowledge Integration and Innovation back to 2016. And 2016 to 2021, these 5 years, we call phase 1. So under the phase 1, we are organizing new research group and we were conducting the research project. So fortunately, as I show you in the previous slides, we have many interesting topics out of the project, and also many technologies can be developed so that the next 5 years from this year until 2026, we call this 5 years phase 2. So during the phase 2, there are 3 major topics. One is supporting startup company, agriculture startup company. Number 2 is just promoting smart agricultures. And number 3, this is the international activities. So again, the international activities is very important for our council in the next 5 years until 2026. Next slide, please. So that we spoke to many embassies and invited to the council as a members. So as of today, there are 26 embassies have already joined as a members. As you can see these slides, many embassies from Asian and European countries have already joined. And fortunately, we could have Slovenia, Embassy of Slovenia in Japan as a members. They just joined this week. So we are very happy and we are so excited to have some conversation with Slovenians in the near future. Next slide, please. So for instance, we had many international activities. And for instance, last month, the 9th of February, we had event between Japan and Hungary, the Hungarian embassy in Tokyo. We had an event to exchange some information and technology developed by smart startup companies between both countries. So in this event, 3 startup companies from Japan and 3 startup companies from Hungary exchange the technologies, so that we are hoping that there are some possible collaboration between 2 countries. And of course, definitely in the future, we would like to have some collaboration in Slovenia together. Next slide, please. Also, just last week, we had an event inviting all embassy members. So this is the seminar to introduce Japanese technology developed under Field for Knowledge Integration and Innovation. And this is kind of one of the first physical event during COVID-19, because we invited all diplomats and ambassadors, and we had seminars in person. So next slide, please. This is one of the pictures. So this event, 7 ambassadors and 42 diplomats from 25 embassies has physically joined. And we had some very kind of important discussions and topics. Next slide, please. Oh, okay. So I think this, okay. So after the COVID-19, we wanted to have this kind of this kind of event, as you can see my slides now. So we like to have physical meeting because we would like to exchange ideas and having some conversation for future possible collaborations. So this was planned last year, actually, before COVID-19, between Japan and Singapore. So National University of Singapore and MAFF planned to have physical event exchanging ideas for future possible collaboration. But unfortunately, this was postponed. So that after COVID-19, we would like to have this kind of physical event to exchanging idea for future possible collaboration as soon as the COVID-19 ended. Next slide, please. So under FKWI, Field for Knowledge Integration and Innovation, we are expecting bi-directional relationship, not only exporting Japanese technology, but also we are expecting some input from the countries, other countries, for instance, Slovenia's universities or government research institutions or researchers, scientists. I would like to have your input from Slovenia so that we can improve and modify our technology together under the collaboration. Next slide, please. I think this is my last slide. So again, the Field for Knowledge Integration and Innovation, we are expecting good collaboration with Slovenia in the near future. Thank you very much for your attention today.
ありがとうございました。それでは、スロベニアと日本のアグリテック企業の紹介に参りたいと思います。両国のイノベーションを実際に知っていただくためにも、6社ほどお呼びしておりまして、日本から3社、スロベニアから3社をお呼びしております。新しいイノベーションの発掘、企業や研究の連携、提携などを模索する機会にしていただきたいと思います。まず、日本から参ります。スロベニアのアグリテック企業に投資されている株式会社クボタより滝川秀夫イノベーションセンターグローバル統括部長、お願いいたします。
ハロー、this is 滝川。ふのさん、スライド見えてますかね？
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Hideo Takegawa from Kubota. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to present our activities today. Thank you very much. So at first, I'd like to make a brief presentation of our company profile. Kubota was established 1890, and our last year's revenue was about 1,853 billion Japanese yen, which is equivalent to about 15 billion euros. The number of our employees over 41,000, and our products are sold over 120 areas, countries, and overseas revenue ratio is currently 76.9%. And we have two business lines. One is farm and industrial machinery division, which handle tractors, engines, and construction machinery, and so on. Another is water and emerald division. Let me see our global activities. So we have 186 entities globally in the world. And the European region, we have 42 entities and about 4,000 employees working. Sales in Europe is about 2 billion euros. Let me explain our vision for future agriculture. So we believe in 2030, many machines and sensors will be connected, and it will greatly change agriculture. Digital transformation will support to improve the productivity and increase yields. And we think digital transformation will be defined in 3 main phases. One is monitoring, next analysis and decision, and last one is application. And we think we are so good at providing application, but monitoring, analysis, and decision, which means also data acquisition and measurement and analysis are weak point for us. Considering such situation, we cannot cover, we think we cannot cover the whole process by ourselves only. And we think so establishment of ecosystem is very important to realize the future agriculture. So we are looking for, we have been looking for the partners to work together. Let me see the background investment in TrapView in Slovenian companies. Innovation Center, first I belong, has a 3 bases. One is in Japan, second one in USA, and last one is in Netherlands in Europe. And European Innovation Center in Netherlands covers all European countries. And we believe so in the identification and control of pest disease is one of the most important problems in agriculture to improve the yield of the crops and reduce the chemicals. Through the research activity by European Innovation Center, we obtain the information that TrapView in Slovenia company provides an advanced service for the pest control and looking for the partners. And we contacted the CEO of the TrapView and had a lot of discussions. And we found so he's a very good software engineer with over 10 years of experience in automated pest monitors and forecasting and IT solutions for monitoring in agriculture. And we expect, and we decided to invest to TrapView. And we expect the investment in TrapView will accelerate innovation in monitoring and forecasting of pests and offering the efficient solution for farmers. So after the investment, we are collaborating with TrapView. You can see the screen in short term. So sales support through our dealers or technical collaboration with POC in orchard and vineyard area. In future, through such collaboration, we will provide the farmers with total solution to support highly profitable farms with TrapView and other companies. So this is also my last slide. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。次に、スロベニアから農業のための革新的な生物学的ソリューションの紹介です。Acies BIO社シニア研究開発マネージャーのマルティン・カウシュチェク博士です。よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation today, and I'm really glad that I can speak on behalf of Acies BIO on development of new biological production processes using Acies biotechnology. I'm Martin Kauszczyk. I'm Senior R&D Manager at Acies BIO. I'm going to tell you a little bit more on what we do at Acies to develop sustainable agriculture. As we all probably know by now, the agriculture will have to go into the path of sustainability, where we will have to meet the needs for food production without compromising future generation needs by producing more food, because the increasing food production is going up in actually less arable land in harsher condition, and through microbial technology we can make this shift to sustainability of agriculture, and this is where Acies BIO can step in. What we are doing using our smart root system is the integrated development of new biological solutions, which offers us a fast development time lean technology innovation in production of, for example, biofertilizers or biopesticides. So what we do is we take many times a fermentation feedstock that is deriving as a byproduct of a certain agricultural practice, and we use it as a feedstock to produce beneficial microorganisms or special molecules that these microorganisms are producing using one of our platform strains that we have in-house, or isolated microbials from the nature. And we optimize all the conditions and everything to make the bioprocess and downstream processing to have the commercial technology ready for our partners, which have market access to many different agricultural sectors. So in 14 or 15 years of our success, we expanded to around 60 research scientists at the moment, working on many different projects, including many of the projects in food and feed technology and agriculture biology. We worked with quite a variety of different industrial partners throughout the globe, being really distributed between Asian market, European, and US market. And we are really proud that a number of our projects came to industrial production, where they are produced at industrial higher scale by our partners, which are also some of the Fortune 500 companies. Some of our results, to give you the scope of what we are doing. For example, we are developing microbial fertilizers for sustainable fertilization of phosphorus and iron, where we are developing the complete process and the formulation for microbial-based iron chelators. We are developing antagonists against olive tree pests, where we are developing the strains, but also formulation for efficient application and increased shelf life. Then we are also active in food supplements, producing different compounds for food industry. One example is production of polysaccharide, which we optimized to have the best strain that is currently on the market. And also in the crop protection, where we, for example, took a natural isolate from the field, increase the yield of the target compound, decrease the byproduct formation, and optimize the production to have a commercial feasible technology that is being produced by our partners and being put on the market. But many times we are also doing just the latest stage. So when our partners already have the developed production to some part, we do the final scale up, commercial demonstration, and then tech transfer to different facilities around the world. We are very happy to have the state-of-the-art facility at Ljubljana Technological Park, where we have all the supporting facilities for develop the complete technologies, from idea conceptualization, strain optimization, and we have versatile analytics that can support really different products for many different fields, and we're especially proud of our scale up to commercial demonstration that is in-house in the outskirts of Ljubljana, where we can really produce the final compounds and help you get into the market. So I hope I gave you the comprehensive overview of what we are doing, and I'll be happy if you contact me on working together with us to make the more sustainable agricultural solutions for the future. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。次は日本からアクプランタ株式会社勤務ジョンミョン代表取締役東京大学の准 特任准教授でいらっしゃいます。よろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。本日はこのような機会をいただきまして誠にありがとうございます。アークプランタ代表のキム・ジョンミョンと申します。今日は乾燥と猛暑、熱から作物を守る新技術について、ご紹介させていただきます。地球温暖化の結果、スロベニアでも、この30年間で、どんどん、平均気温が上がっていっています。で、このまま、地球温暖化が続くと、2050年には世界全体で約7割の地下水源が枯渇すると言われています。で、一番大きな問題になる、今後の問題になる高温と乾燥に対する同時に対処できる策っていうのは今までなかったのですが、弊社の技術によってこの熱と乾燥を同時に対処できるっていうような技術を作りました。で、それがスキーポンという名前で呼ばれるプロダクトになります。スキーポンの名前の由来は植物をスーパーキープオンできるということでスキーポンと名付けています。次にスキーポンについてなんですけれども、スキーポンはバイスミラントと言われるジャンルの製品で、肥料や農薬ではありません。また、組成はすごく簡単かつ安全なものを使っているために、植物や、人間、動物、また環境に対しても、トキシックなものではありません。そして、何よりもこのスキーポンを使うことによって植物をかなりの高温と、水分の不足から守るということができ、かつ一度使うと1ヶ月から3ヶ月、その高温耐性能っていうのを、メモリーするということが、記憶させるということができます。そのメカニズムについてなんですけれども、2017年にネイチャーの姉妹誌に、この論文として、発表させていただいております。で、植物は通常乾燥を感じると自分の体の中で酢酸を作り出してこれを刺激物として使い下流の遺伝子をエキサイトすることで乾燥に耐えているというメカニズムを世界で初めて私が発見しました。で、このメカニズムを利用してスキーポンを利用することで植物体内の乾燥耐性能っていうのを自然な乾燥耐性能をより活性化することにより乾燥だけでなく熱耐性および塩害、塩に対する耐性まで高めるというような製品に仕上がりました。で、実際にスキーポンを使った場合の実験結果をご覧ください。これはトマトを用いた実験結果です。グリーンハウスの中で水を完全に遮断して45度の温度で2週間全く無給水で育っています。左は水を少量与えたもの、そして同量のスキーポンを与えたものになりますが、この高温、乾燥の状態でトマトの苗が元気に生育して生き残っているのが分かります。で、この場合、およそ半分の水量以下の量で植物はスキーポンを与えてさえおけば生育が可能になるということも明らかにしています。次に、キャベツを用いた実際の農地での実験になりますが、スキーポンを処理しておいてから植えたものが右側の赤いラインのところ。で、次に、水だけ、コントロールで水だけ与えて植えたものが左側の半分になります。で、この結果で見ると、植えておおよそ3週間後に、水で植えたものっていうのは、スキーポンを与えたものよりもサイズが小さく、また、定食の時のストレスによる結株が発生しているのですけれども、この結株は全くスキーポン処理のものは発生しません。で、次にそこから、1.5ヶ月、1ヶ月半育っていると、スキーポンを与えたものは水処理したものに比べて、順調に生育をし、でかつ大きく育つということが分かってきました。で、このスキーポンという技術なんですけれども、基本的にはこの酢酸を用いたメカニズムというのは、乾燥耐性メカニズムというのは、植物すべてに保存されている機能になります。なので、単使用でも総使用でも草でも樹木でも利用することができます。で、使用方法なんですけれども、およそ500倍に希釈したスキーポンを刃からではなく根元に上げます。根から1度もしくは2度吸わせることによって、熱であるとか乾燥である っていうようなストレスに耐えることができます。で、実際1本のスキーポンのボトルで2万株のキャベツの苗が定植可能になります。で、スキーポンを使った時の最終的なベネフィットなんですけれども、水不足であるとか、もしくは、ヒートウェーブに対しての、耐性をつけさせるっていうだけではなくって、植物自体の生育をヘルシーに、スムーズにさせ、でかつ、生産性を上げるということができます。また、少ない数量で育てることができるので、水代もかからなくなりますし、それに関わる、労働時間っていうのも減らすことができます。で、実際に、庭から森林に至るまで、すべての植物に対して乾燥と高温というキーワードが、かかってくれば、すべて対処できてしまうというようなものです。で、我々の会社としましては、世界中の、SDGs の解決というところで、特に、この1番から、15番の4つの、問題を解決するために、日夜取り組んでおります。ご清聴ありがとうございました。以上になりますけれど。
ありがとうございました。それでは、次にスロベニアから精密農業のためのスマートウォーターソリューションワブースト社のビジネス開発担当のボシュティアン・ベロニクさん、よろしくお願いいたします。
Good morning, everybody. I would like to thank, in the name of WebBoost team, the opportunity to participate to this event. My name is Boštjan Veronik. I am business development at WebBoost, and we have dedicated our work and our development to the solutions for the water purification and enrichment for well-being of plants and animals. So what are, just briefly explain what are the main challenges in the water and livestock horticulture. So the biggest problems are especially contamination with pathogenic microorganisms and heavy metals. We have problems with algae growth in the water reservoirs and biofilm and live scaling in pipelines. We have presence of heavy metals and consequently low levels of dissolved oxygen. So what are the consequences actually for the livestock and horticulture? Mainly it's high mortality. Then we have problems with the lower yield, low production efficiency, and excessive use of chemicals and antibiotics. So what are our actually solutions for that? We have, can you see my file? Yeah, solutions and benefits. So on one side, what we do is actually we inject into the water, into irrigation water, long-lived oxygen nanobubbles with the consequence actually for the feed and livestock and to irrigate the plants. This is the nanobubbles are completely natural, are very small bubbles, which are roughly 100 nanometers big. And with these nanobubbles, we can achieve the permanently disinfection and clean water for the use of livestock and plants. And on the other side, we can enrich the water with dissolved oxygen, which ensures a more efficient growth and health of the animals and plants. So our machines, which you can see on the right side, we have a different range of machines, which goes from small ones from 5 cubic meters per hour up to 100 cubic meters and more. So all machines are remotely controlled by our IoT system, by which we can monitor the functionality of the machines. We can also monitor the water quality, especially, for example, for irrigation applications, dissolved oxygen levels, ORP levels, pH levels, etc. And consequently, we can also manage the levels in real time for irrigation applications, for example. What our machine can also, our solution can also fit to any existing water treatment processes. So there are no big installation works which are needed, or no big infrastructure works needed. Usually we can connect the machines within 1 day. And these machines, or this technology, was developed in-house by our own company in the last couple of years. So what are actually the results of this solution? Is pathogen-free water for irrigation and for animal farming. We can remove biofilms and scales from the piping system. Consequently, we can observe improved animal and plant health, especially in the irrigation applications. We can see a strong root development of the plants, and consequently, we can observe increased production and yield, which goes from roughly 15%, and in some cases also 90%. For the animal farming, we have achieved reduction of mortality and production loss by up to 60%. In some cases, we can completely reduce chemicals and for the water disinfection in the pipelines. We have observed due to the better health of animals and reduction of pathogens from the water, the reduction of antibiotics also up to 30%. And not but least, we observed a better and improved food to weight ratio, which goes also up to 15%, which results in a lower consumption of food. Just briefly, 2 examples. On one example I can give you from a cow farm in Italy, where we have our machine working since a couple of years, where they have 600 animals. The problems were at the beginning, the presence of microorganisms in E. coli, biofilm in pipelines, limescale problems, high mortality, and high consumption of antibiotics. The results, we have improved actually the weight gain of the animals up to 15%. Due to the improved appetite and lower stress, we have reduced the production loss down to 0%. I have already mentioned the reduction of antibiotics by up to 30%, and complete removal of bacteria, algae, and viruses from the water, as well as problems of biofilm, and all this with 100% chemical-free application. So, and the last, we use also our application on our machines for different other applications for irrigation. For example, in the football stadiums, where we have greatly improved also the root system and the quality of the grass for the football players. So, what are the future challenges in the agriculture? As we know, 70% of the available fresh water for irrigation and watering is used by agriculture. It is an important source for pollution in waterways and resources. It can cause 14% of greenhouse gas emissions. And from our experience, and also from reports, 70% of this water is contaminated by pathogenic bacteria. With our solution, we have a solution that can partly resolve that problems, and we are keen actually to work further and to look also for partners in Japan to tackle this problem globally. Thank you very much for your attention.
がとうございました。次は、日本から株式会社アーク栗原陽介共同創業者最高環境責任者、よろしくお願いいたします。
Hi, do you see my screen? Oh, it's not working, sorry.
No, we currently cannot see your screen.
Okay, let me reboot my screen again. Sorry about that. How is it now?
Still no screen, not sharing. We can see only you.
Okay.
Yes, now you are sharing.
Okay, would you mind if I just go with this non-presentation mode?
Just you to self, as you are most comfortable.
Thank you. Yes. How about now?
Full screen, yes, okay.
Oh, okay, that's good. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me today. I'm Yo Kurihara. I'm the co-founder and chief sustainability officer at our company ARK Inc. Good morning, Europe. Good evening, Tokyo. Thanks for having me. Today, I'd like to go through our product and company briefly with you for this opportunity. So our mission is to decentralize agriculture, but I would like to emphasize that we're not opposing or denying the centralized, bigger scale food production. But we are talking about tackling up with the global large scale crisis of protein and sustainability. So we just simply believe that there should be several ways to solve and several availability of the options to solve these issues. So our company again is ARK Inc, based in Tokyo. I'm actually joining from London, so we are planning to open up our business in Europe pretty soon. And our R&D center is based in Sagami Bay in Kanagawa Prefecture, and we are selected for the Tokyo Startup Beam program sponsored by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government. Here are our co-founders, our CEO, Koyo. He is dedicated to design and production of system. Isamu, he is our chief ARK officer. Obviously, we deal with a lot of water, so he is leading the R&D of ecosystem ecology. And I myself is Yo Kurihara, the chief sustainability officer. So here we address two big crises, but I think this particular panel of people today, I'm presumably aware of these issues, so I'm not gonna get in deeper. But balancing up these crises is pretty hard. So that's where we are from, and that's what we are passionate about to solve. So our value is to design and deliver a sustainable aquaculture solutions that can be deployed anywhere and operated by anybody. So that's where we're from, and we address our mission to decentralize and distribute the ways of aquaculture. And there are several reasons why we came up with this conclusion that we need our original closed recirculating aquaculture system, so-called CRAS. The FCR, if you compare livestock and the seafood, is obviously the FCR is much efficient for seafood. But then how we get the production, how we get the seafood enough for the demand in the world. The fisheries in the ocean, it's already limited, and also the offshore or nearshore aquaculture is limited again, and it's regulated by the government regulations a lot. So we So now the land-based aquaculture is kind of like becoming the alternative for those two fisheries way to get the seafood. And also the on the land-based, there are a couple ways to develop land-based aquaculture, but we decided to go with the solution which requires much less water, so that can recirculate inside of the ecosystem and grow the seafood inside of the container. And here's our products. Our product is called ARK, same as our company, which is dedicated to produce land-based aquaculture. There are three uniqueness about our product. One is the small package. So once again, I'm not really opposing or denying the larger scale RAS system, which is getting much popular in the global markets. But our ARK requires only a parking spot for a car. So that's less than 10 square meter. And the second point is that we operate in very less OPEX. So we all three came from IoT cloud integration background. So we believe these kind of like new technologies should be operated by less people and automated by systems as much as we can. That'll reducing OPEX to 1/3 to compare to the typical larger scale CRAS. Last but not least, and this is actually where our passion is really focusing on, is to make it zero emission. So ARK works off grid with renewable energy from solar panels and turbine and solar heating, and then those emits no that'll comes out to the zero emission to run the system and reducing the energy cost along with the OPEX, and much more harmless to the environment. And we're actually working on our prototype coming up this autumn. Along with our hardware, we are planning to provide essential materials for farming, such as juvenile, water, and feeding. And I think I've been hearing the exciting businesses along today from the panelers today, and I think that this is somewhere we can probably talk about the collaboration here. Along with that, we offer application for remote control, so people doesn't really have to be the professional or experienced aquaculture farmer. We would like to open up to this methodology to anybody who's not who hasn't really experienced any kind of aquaculture. And our first target will be Vaname, the white leg shrimp. There are a couple of reasons, because they require less growing period, which is about 3 to 4 months, and has space efficiencies much less requiring compared to the other species. And that really important for us to leverage our container so that we can use the vertical level of the tank, and the specific pathogen-free juveniles are available. So compared to the other species, Vanames are relatively stronger against the disease. And of course, we're not limiting our opportunity for Vanames. Now some of other species are under R&D, depending on the market. So for overseas, particularly, we are actually thinking about tilapia and sea bass for the global scalability. So that's about it. Thanks for having me, and I'm eager to collaborate with Slovene companies and organizations and the government for our future business. So thank you very much, and please feel free to contact on us in any ways. Thank you, and have a good day, and enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you.
りがとうございました。それでは次に行きます。パンオルガニックス社、ニコ・ミホリッチセールスマネージャー、よろしくお願いいたします。
Hello, do you hear me? Everything's okay regarding the sound?
We can hear you, but the sound is a bit not so strong.
Not so strong sound. Okay,
now it is better, yeah.
Now it's better. Okay.
Yes.
I'll speak a little bit loudly and then I think it will be okay. So just to share the screen. Good. Okay. So, hello, dear friends from Japan. I'm very humbled to present you our production, which you actually are probably very well acquainted. I know that you are very well acquainted with such a technology, but still, let me present you a little bit what PanOrganix is doing here in Slovenia and Austria, and of course, our plans in the future. So we gave the presentation the address that we are disrupting the vegetable production here in Europe as a new nature-friendly way to produce fresh, nutrient-rich vegetables all year long in a hydroponic, or we say bioponic system, with the production in the mobile gutter systems. Okay, everything is okay. Just a second. Okay, so what we do and why we are good at it. So we are not a startup company, but we are a young but an experienced grower with 6 years of experience from the production of lettuce and herbs in the mobile gutter systems. We started in Slovenia in 2015 with the first greenhouse with the mobile gutter system production for lettuces and herbs. And at this point, we have our facilities in, as I said, in Slovenia and also in Austria. And we employ 50 employees at the locations as I mentioned. So we have started as a grower, but due to the digitalization, the know-how, we are transforming into one of the leading food tech grower in the world. Let's say now in Central Europe, but our plans are to become a food tech grower, of course, in the world. We have good, vast selling channels and contracts with big market chains in Central, Eastern, and Southern Europe. And you can see there at the below left side, these are the companies which we are working now. And of course, every month, every year, we are talking with new market chains to expand our production and to deliver our lettuces and herbs also to other parts of Europe. So we established our company first as a agricultural farm in 2011, where our owner Mario Kurtovic started with the first production of Slovenian garlic. In the next years, we added also production of organic blueberries. We also started with production of beans. And in 2015, this was the first pioneer project in Central Europe, especially in Slovenia, where we built the greenhouse for living vegetables with the brand name Živa, which is called life in English because it's a living salad, it's a living herb with roots, and it stays also, and it's sold also with roots, and this is why we gave the brand name Life, or in Slovene we say Živa. In 2016, it was the first time when we sold our product to foreign markets. Firstly, we sold it to Austria, actually a Slovenian vegetable, Slovenian lettuce. And even then in 2016, there was a agreement with the market chain in Austria that why shouldn't we do also a greenhouse in Austria where we could, of course, produce lettuce and herbs with the Austrian origin, because in Austria, of course, and also in Slovenia, these are the values. This is very important that the vegetables are grown locally. So in 2018, we finalized the construction and we started with the first sales in our Austrian greenhouse. In 2019, we built also 2 hectare, the biggest greenhouses for bio lettuce, for organic lettuce in Slovenia. This is a classical production, which is lettuce which is grown in the earth, in the field, but in a tunnel production. And in 2020, we became a little bit stronger. There were some investors which invested in us and which helped us to expand our ideas and our production also to other countries in Europe, especially to Romania, where we started with the building to build the greenhouse in February this year. And we are planning that this greenhouse will be finished until the autumn. And then also the first sales in Romania with the Romanian living lettuce and living herbs will be started. And the next project, which is the German greenhouse, which I hope and everybody hopes, and we are doing in that way, that we are going to build in the next year. This is a map of Europe where you can see, so the green ones, these are the facilities which we have already now. So one in Slovenia, one in Murek in Austria. The next one is Arad, Romania. We have also some negotiation with the Hungarian authorities, Hungarian government regarding the to build also a greenhouse in Hungary. But we are the biggest plans are now to start the production in Germany, where we would like to build the most modern greenhouse in that part of Europe, a little bit more automated and also with all of the new equipment which has to be at that kind of production. So our philosophy, so we are always looking and searching and acquiring new technologies to improve our production system. Every brand that we do, every vegetables that we produce, we are always branding it. So we give it a name. We are working also with social media, and this is how we communicate with our customers, where we communicate what are the good things about our production. Why is this kind of lettuce or herbs better than the conventional one? And this is something that we do. And also, of course, one of the biggest values, sustainable farming. So we are looking that the low carbon footprint is used. Of course, our production at the mobile gutter system is non-invasive. Of course, we don't use any pesticides. Water is preserved. So we save 95% of water, because our system, the mobile gutter system, is a recirculation system, so the water stays in the system, and this is why we don't have no waste waters. So as I said before, we are looking into new technologies and solutions, especially in acquiring artificial intelligence, which will help our growers, our technicians, also our sales persons, that they will know, and they will also know what will happen in the future, what could happen in the future, with the help, of course, with the help of the artificial intelligence technologies which are coming now. It's about managing the orders in the greenhouse. It's about the controls, so following subsystems, and this is something that we are now searching for. Of course, automated production with robotized systems. I know that in Japan you are very acquainted with that kind of technology, so it's probably you can teach me about that, not that I teach you. This is 100%. But this is something that also is very important for our future. So to acquire robotized system to help the production to become cheaper, to become better and more sufficient. So living lettuce, as you can see also in the production, this is the living lettuce with the roots. Why we are promoting that kind of production and that kind of vegetable is because it has full of nutrients due to the roots. So fresh and crispy, stays up to 10 to 15 days. As I said, no pesticides are used. And of course, our production is through the whole year, so 356 days per year. And we are using already now environmentally friendly packaging. So we are using paper bags. So the pots are not plastic anymore. We are acquiring biodegradable pots also with the herbs. And this is something that it has to become one of the values also in agriculture, especially in packaging, because we think that the philosophy 0% of plastic is something that we have all have to follow to save our nature, to save our planet, and to be more nature friendly. We think that our production is, of course, business of the future because it's combining the purpose and high yield. It has several investments opportunities. You see now the OECD, everybody's talking about how will we produce. Also the other presenters which were before me were talking about how we will manage the food production in the future regarding the temperature rise, regarding that the population is becoming bigger and bigger, and of course how to acquire this kind of production, this kind of vegetable production, food productions in areas like Africa, like Arabic states, where of course the weather conditions are different, and to preserve that kind of production can be also held either way, either location in the world, and that this is possible to do that. So why are we doing this? We are confident, of course, that kind of production, so the production of lettuce and herbs in the greenhouses is the production of the future, and that it will prevail in the next years. Why? Because our production or the production in the greenhouses is giving 40 to 20 times greater crop yield compared to outdoor products. It's complete reduction of harmful effects of water, land, and air. What we also do, we are looking for strategic locations. So we are not working as a company which is building greenhouses on one place. We are going to each country, build medium, optimum size greenhouses in each country, so we can assure, of course, the local origin of our production. This is also what the market chains are looking, and the most common goal is also, it is the idea to build a greenhouse near the market chain warehouses, so the transport costs are not big, but the most important thing, the low carbon foot. So we don't drive, I don't know, thousands of kilometers with big trucks and we pollute, and that is why we could pollute the air. No, we would like to build greenhouses next to the warehouses that the transports are not polluting the nature. So this is why one of the values is also short delivery distance. Continuity, so fresh, crispy, and fully nutritious greens. Of course, we're working on even more, you know, even though we think that our quality is one of the best now in our region, we still know that we have to work on quality of the products. This is the most important thing. So the lettuces are big enough, they're crispy enough, they are fresh enough, and that they stay healthy and fresh up to more days. And this is something that we are working every day, how to bring the lettuces even more levels up, and that the customer will be satisfied with our quality. So this consistency of quality, this is also one of the values which is important. And of course, zero waste. What we have done, because in the first years we had to acquire this technology, to learn about this technology, and of course we had a lot of waste. This is why we found now the solutions that even though we have some waste, if that's I don't know, from 1% to 4% waste, even this 4% is then collected, and we cut it as cut lettuce, and we sell it as produce at the convenience per product. So this is the prepared lettuces, which are already cut, which are already fresh, and you can eat them in the moment. So then after this, we really don't have any percent of waste, and everything what we do is actually sold. Okay. Now the next slide. Yes. So this is a small competition comparison of KPIs. So what are the differences between vertical farming, PanOrganix, bioponics, and of course the conventional oil production? The most important thing is regarding crop yield outcome, how much crop yield you actually get in that kind of production. Then, of course, the production that is going on 356 days, 65 days per year. Also, the use of pesticides, and especially production waste at the end of the day. So conventional lettuces, which are grown on the outside, on the tunnels, in the earth, they have big production waste, as in comparison with our production, which has very, very low waste. Because even though if it has 2% or 5% waste, we use it for cut lettuce, and we pack it in the boxes to sell it as the convenience program of lettuce. So this is more or less it. Thank you for listening. It is an honor to present our company to you, to everybody, also to our friends from Japan. I would like to say that PanOrganix is striving to become one of the world leaders in production of lettuce and herbs. Now we are acquiring Europe. So as I said, new destinations in Europe are already coming, and this is our plan. So PanOrganix to be, PanOrganix as we are the lettuce and we are the herbs. This is our plans, and thank you for listening, and have a great day.
ありがとうございました。すべての、パネリストの皆さんの、プレゼンが終わりました。質疑応答の時間に参りたいと思いますが、ちょっと時間が押してしまいましたので、今現在、チャットの方に、質問が来ている分だけ、お答えいただきたいと思います。ミホリッチさんへの質問ですね。まず最初の質問が、サプライヤーが知りたいと。こちらは、質問に答えできますでしょうか。サプライヤー of the biodegradable、生界文化線。はい。ミホリッチさん、どうぞ。
Did you call me?
ミホリッチさんに直接、質問をするということでよろしいですか？
Just a second.
ありがとうございます。 チャットの方に、質問が来ておりましたが、直接美穂律さんの方に、連絡をしていただくということにいたします。ありがとうございます。時間が押してしまいましたので、こちらでちょっと、終わりにさせていただきます。チャットの方にですね、質問の連絡先等が書いてありますので、そちらの方でご質問を受け付けます。こちらから連絡差し上げます。よろしくお願いいたします。それでは最後に、今回のセミナーの主催者であります、スピリットスロベニアの長官代理、トマシュ・コスタゲベツ長官代理からのご挨拶をお願いいたします。
Thank you very much, Ms. Funo. At this point, I would like to thank all participants, especially to, start my video. Oh, hello. Now you can see my picture. So once again, at this point, I would like to thank you to all participants, especially to Minister Dr. Podgorshek and Parliamentary Vice Minister Mr. Kuhama, Ms. Ambassador Dr. Petric and Ambassador Matsushima, and all representatives of other institutions as well as participating companies from Slovenia and Japan. I would also like to express my gratitude to host Ms. Yukiko Funo from the Slovenian Embassy in Tokyo, who has done a great job in connecting all pieces into a smooth experience. From what we have heard from the institutional level as well as from the participating companies, we can summarize that Slovenia and Japan have a great potential and can offer innovative solutions in the field of agriculture. That is the way we should further explore in all the possibilities of a cooperation of two innovative economies in AgriTech sector. As I can say about our agency, SPIRIT Slovenia, a Slovenia government's single point of contact for potential investor and international companies, is here to help you establish contact between Slovenian and Japanese partners. So please do not hesitate to contact us. Myself and our team, SPIRIT in Slovenia, is here to help you to grow your business. Thank you, and I wish you a great day, a great afternoon to Japanese audience. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。それでは本日の、ウェビナーこちらで終わりにいたします。ホームページの方に、他の、各パネリスト、の連絡先等の QR コードが載っております。そちらの方に、質問等は、ご連絡くださるようよろしくお願いいたします。どうもありがとうございました。
My first experience of Slovenia was so much more than I expected. I had to come back. Now that I've been here a few times, I know this much. It might be small in size, but it's big in its achievements. Now I know it's green. And not only because forests cover more than half its land, but because everyone is working to protect the environment. From innovative pioneers in light aviation to greenhouses heated with geothermal water, while smart sensors control its production. And creators of self-sustainable zero-emission houses that are in complete sync with nature. Now I also know that it's creative. Not just because of its unique achievements in sustainable construction engineering, but also because it manufactures sports equipment for champions the world over. But Slovenia isn't just green or just creative. It's a fun-loving and free country where groundbreaking ideas come to life. And it's smart. Because Slovenia's know-how is used for automotive testing. And every single car in the world has at least one component made in Slovenia. And because it's one of the leading manufacturers of generic pharmaceuticals. Of course, Slovenia is already famous for its hospitality and locally grown food. And its engineers never stop working on cutting-edge automation. While its companies constantly push the barriers in technological innovation. And all because of its brilliant people, educated and reliable, multilingual and talented, who can improve the quality of your life or even help you reach the stars. Now I've been here, I know that Slovenia is a land of infinite potential with fantastic opportunities. Which one will you take? Slovenia, a land of infinite potential for your business. Make the most of it.